A gentleman who owns a carpet cleaning business posted a similar story at the FastLane forum. He wrote, "The problem is that although I provide incredible value for what I do, it is based on something that people don't want to buy. People will avoid cleaning their carpets for as long as is physically possible. So in reality, I'm providing something that is of little value. Thus, I can conclude that I need to change my business premise. So what values do I change my business premise to target? What do people value today? I think I'm in a business that is based on a bad business premise. I feel bad for this man. Why is he in the carpet cleaning business? Because there was a need? Or because he needed a job and wanted his own business? Regardless of the reason, he operates in an industry where the service is commoditized. Business owners fight over every customer while they earn fewer and fewer dollars for each. If he wants to grow, he has to cut his price. My response was that you can't change your business premise because you are already in the business. The right business premise would have steered you clear of the industry or got you in the industry to attack an unfilled need. When hundreds of people get into a business solely because they know how or want to, and it is not based on need, you get put into the position you are in, price wars haggling over a few dollars. There is limited need, limited demand, and too many providers. Supply. The point of having a need-based premise is to avoid the industry entirely. Or to get in it to solve a specific problem, not to change it after the fact. If your product isn't someone's knight, standing out from the crowd and differentiating, it stands to be commoditized. Get your eyes off the competition's ass. Although my internet service was for consumers, my paying customers were small business owners. When you interact with hundreds of small business owners on a daily basis, you get a keen insight into how they approach business. I mistakenly assumed that all business owners thought like I did, when their predisposition often was the opposite. I learned fast that most business owners paid more attention to their competition than to their own business. Instead of minding their own business, they had their noses into everything that everyone else was doing. When this happens, you neglect your own product and become reactive instead of proactive. Are your eyes on your vehicle and the road ahead? Or are you rubbernecking at the cars all around you? Oh no! Excel Limousine dropped its hourly rate by $5. Mercy, call out the price police. Heavens! Godfrey Limousine is advertising its limousine as a 2009 model when it's a 2003 model. I'm calling my attorney. If your eyes are glued to the competitions, but guess what? Your eyes aren't on the road ahead. If you're following, you aren't leading, and if you aren't leading, you're not innovating. If Company X does something and you react, you are being reactive, not proactive. Why aren't they following your lead? If your preoccupation is with every single thing your competition does, you're cheating your business and your customers. How to use your competition? Another dead professor a moment. Forget about your competition 95% of the time. The other 5% should be used to exploit their weaknesses and differentiate your business. If you forget about your competition, you're forced to focus on your business, which is to innovate and win over the hearts and minds of your customers. And when you fill needs and your army of customers grows, something suddenly happens, everyone follows you. In my industry, I lead the pack. I innovated and everyone followed me. If I instituted a new feature, my competition would add the same thing months later. I introduced the lead generation revenue model and it was copied dozens of times. My eyes weren't affixed to everyone else because I was preoccupied with my own success and the satisfaction of my customers. On the rare occasions you peek in at your competition, do so for exploitation. Mind their weaknesses and differentiate your product. Uncover what you should be doing that they aren't. Find the need. Exploit their customer service gaffes. Is it impossible to receive good service? Do dissatisfied customers litter the web with their displeasure? When I launched my limousine directory, my competition consisted of existing websites and the traditional yellow pages. The weakness of both was risk. To advertise, you had to pay a big upfront fee regardless of benefit. If you spent $5,000 and acquired one new customer, you just spent $5,000 for one client. Scary risk proposition, huh? I thought this was too risky for business owners, so I sought to solve it. For mature companies, competition often serves to exploit what you shouldn't be doing versus what you should be doing. My closest competitor was known never to answer their email. This gave me an advantage. If you are going to take your eye off the road and examine your competitors, expose their weaknesses. Exploited weakness is where brands are built. Differentiation is a defense to commoditization. What are they doing wrong? What inefficiency is there? Within the gray area of unsatisfied customers lies differentiation. The only alternative to boorish Me Too goods and services is differentiation, and that is accomplished by innovation and analyzing your competitors' weaknesses. Force innovation. Chapter summary: FastLane distinctions. Commoditization occurs when you get into business based on a false premise. I want to own a business, or I know how to do this, so I'll start a business doing it. If you are too busy copying or watching your competition, you're not innovating. Use your competition to exploit their weaknesses. 43. Build brands, not businesses. Everyone has an invisible sign hanging from their neck saying, "Make me feel important." Never forget that message when working with people. Mary Kay Ash. Queen Me, marketing and branding in chess: lose your queen, you lose the game. In business, most entrepreneurs play the game without their captured queen. Have you ever bought a product from television, and when you used it, it sucked and didn't perform as advertised? Then, in dissatisfaction, you tried to return it and got the runaround from a guy who sounded like he had a double-digit IQ? That is the power of marketing: bad people, bad service, and bad product, but awesome marketing. If you have an okay product, a weak night, poor customer service, drunk bishops, and incompetent people, a castle full of idiots, you can survive with a powerful queen. The queen is the most powerful piece in chess, and it is also in business. Marketing can convince people to buy mediocre products. Marketing can hide or disguise service flaws. Marketing can shadow incompetence, and marketing can keep convicted felons disparate from their product. The power of marketing is that a powerful ad campaign can move products, regardless of the cockroaches hiding underneath. Marketing is a game of perceptions, and whatever the perception is, that's the reality. Build a brand, not a business. Businesses survive. Brand strive. A brand is the best defense to commoditization. When your business is in business just to make money and pay the bills for the month, you're playing checkers and being one-dimensional. People are loyal to brands and relationships, not corporations or businesses. I love Coke and I hate Pepsi. I'm loyal to Coke, and I don't care if Pepsi suddenly becomes $1 cheaper, I'll always buy Coke. Coke has built a brand, and the power of that brand is a firm loyalty that is difficult to sever. Is Coke objectively better than Pepsi? I don't know or care. When you think about the automobile Volvo, what do you think of? I think safety. How about Porsche? I think speed. How about Ferrari? I think rich. Volkswagen? Practical. Toyota? Reliability. Yet, when someone mentions Chevrolet, nothing clear comes to mind other than looming bankruptcy, union squabbles, and unpredictable reliability. Some auto manufacturers have carved out strong brands, while the others fortify a business. Our friend with the carpet cleaning business also has a business and not a brand. Brands don't have identity crises, businesses do. If our friend wants to excel in an industry saturated with Me Too's, he's going to have to brand himself and differentiate himself. He needs to be a Lamborghini in a traffic jam of Chevys. What will make his carpet cleaning business different from the rest? Why should people hire him even though his prices might be 20% higher? These tough questions have tough answers, especially since his entry into the industry was based on a faulty premise. However, upon further investigation, most of his unscrupulous competitors use bait-and-switch advertising tactics gummed down with fine print. Perhaps this industry weakness is exploitable? My challenge to him was to leverage that nuisance. Perhaps he can brand himself as a no-nonsense carpet cleaner, fixed prices, no surcharges, and no fine print. Apple, the computer maker, is a great example of building a brand based on a need or a nuisance. People hate viruses, spyware, and the constant "your updates are ready" messages that are associated with PC computers. Apple exploited PC's weaknesses and solved their problems. It has built itself into one of the most successful brands in history. Apple isn't the cheapest because they've engineered a brand and they can demand a higher price. Say Apple, and many images come to mind: creative, trendy, easy, and hip. When I think of PC, I think of blue screens, illegal operations, and you must reboot your computer 17 times before this update takes effect. One is a business. The other is a brand. Get unique, the USP. The first step at building a brand is to have a unique selling proposition or a USP. As a business without one, you're adrift in a sea of Me Too businesses without a rudder, unmoored to the trade winds of the marketplace. USP-less businesses offer nothing distinct, nothing unique, no benefit, no logical reason that someone should buy from them other than hope or circumstance wrapped around a cheap price. Your USP is the anchor to your brand. What makes your company different from the rest? What sets your business apart? What will compel a customer to use you over someone else? My USP was powerful: no-risk advertising. If we send you nothing, you pay nothing. Advertisers joined by the truckload because they were tired of advertising with the yellow pages, which offered this risk proposition: pay us $5,000 upfront, then hope and pray. I exposed a pain point and fixed it. Our carpet cleaner had no USP. Nothing set him apart, as he might as well just been a lonely grain of rice in a 50-pound bag of feed. USPs are the building blocks to brands and can compensate for higher prices or even an inferior product. FedEx was introduced to the world when it said, "When your package absolutely positively has to be there overnight." M&M's said, "The milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand." Notice how these USPs target benefits. I don't like Domino's pizza, despite once being employed by them. And yet that didn't stop them from building a pizza empire based on the USP of delivered to your door in 30 minutes or less, or it's free. Domino's identified the need. Pizza delivery was a long ordeal. They solved it, branded it, and the rest is history. How did Domino's infiltrate such a crowded market space and succeed? Branding and marketing, the queen in the chess game. Developing your USP. How do you develop a solid USP for your company? There are 5 simple steps. Step 1. Uncover the benefits. Get into business for the right reason, to solve a problem or a need. That creates your first USP. If you are already in business, find the greatest benefit of your product, one that sets it apart from the competition. Do this with your customer in mind. Think about their needs and what they want. Step 2. Be unique. The objective of a USP is to be unique when compared to the alternatives. This impregnates the consumer with a logical argument for choosing your company, because, without your company, they are foregoing the benefit. USPs should use powerful action verbs that create desire and urgency. Lose weight should be. Change to obliterate fat or shred pounds. Grow your business should be dropped in favor of explode revenues or shatter sales records. The uniqueness of your USP creates a consumer divergence when it comes to their buying decision. If you pick a Mac over a PC, you are choosing safety, speed, and reliability over viruses and bloatware.